Hi everyone, and happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a great spring break. Here's your weekly update for the week of April 13th through April 17th. So, welcome back. I hope you guys remember where we are. We were on the road to the Civil War, and it's been a pretty bumpy road so far. We've covered the Missouri Compromise, which established the 3630 line, brought Maine in as a free state, Missouri in as a slave state. We covered the Compromise of 1850, which brought California in as a free state. The Utah and New Mexico territories were able to decide if they wanted to be slave territories or not. The slave trade was abolished in Washington, D.C. Only the slave trade, not the practice of slavery, remember? And the last part of the Compromise of 1850 was that Texas got to keep its panhandle. However, it surrendered all of its land that it won in the Mexican-American War to the United States, and it also surrendered its public debt to Washington, D.C. We also covered the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which brought Kansas and Nebraska in as territories. However, due to popular sovereignty, which was the people deciding if they wanted to be slave territories or not, Bleeding Kansas happened, which was a very violent uprising between the pro-slavery factions and the anti-slavery factions. We also learned about Lincoln's election and how, as a direct result of that, the South seceded. So when we come back this week, you guys are going to start learning about the actual Civil War. This is a picture from Fort Sumter, which was one of the first battles. And then this is the first Battle of Bull Run, which you guys will be learning about later in the week. So what to expect for this week, remember you have your quarterly 3 exam on Tuesday. We're going to be learning about the beginning of the Civil War and what was important and what was new in this war. We're also going to be learning about the early battles of the war and why they were important for morale. So some reminders. The quarterly review game is tomorrow. I hope you guys have been studying over break. Remember, your makeup entries for exploring the Louisiana Territory Project are due on Friday. You can always submit any entry that you have under a 40 out of 50 on, and I'll put that new grade in on Genesis as long as it's higher than the original grade, because I want to give you guys the highest grade possible. Remember, the marking period is almost over, so make sure you're getting all of your assignments in for grades. And also, welcome back. I've really missed you this past week, and I hope to see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. That's all I have for you. Have a good rest of the break.